Listen closely, because this is not a coincidence. You didn't click on this video by mistake. You were meant to hear this. You were guided here, because right now, God is whispering something to your spirit. He's saying, this is the sign you've been waiting for. You've been asking for confirmation. You've been searching for clarity. You've been praying, crying, wondering, God, if you still hear me, show me something. And He has. This moment right now is His answer. It's not about the video. It's about the message. Because God is saying to you, I have not forgotten you. I have not abandoned you. I am still working. Pause for a moment. Breathe. Feel that stillness in your chest. That quiet pull deep inside. That's not just emotion. That's His Spirit moving through you. And if you can feel it right now, go to the comments and write these 3 words. I receive it. Because when you do, you're not typing just words. You're activating faith. You're telling heaven, I'm ready. Now hear this clearly. God knows the weight you've been carrying, the pain you don't talk about, the questions that keep you awake at night. You smile, you stay strong, but deep down you're exhausted, not just physically, but spiritually. You've been waiting for something to shift. You've been asking, when will it be my turn? And God says, my child, it's closer than you think. But before the blessing comes, the breaking. Before the miracle comes, the moment that tests your faith. Because faith is not proven in comfort. Faith is forged in the fire. You've been through enough to give up. But somehow, you didn't. You're still standing, still hoping, still believing, even when everything around you told you not to. And that right there is proof that God is not finished with you. He's been shaping you quietly. While you were fighting battles nobody saw, He was strengthening the roots beneath your surface. While people misunderstood you, He was aligning something that would make sense later. While doors closed, He was preparing one that would never close again. Because when God delays, it's never to deny. It's to develop. He's been developing your patience, your endurance, your wisdom, so that when the door opens, you'll be ready to walk through it. But here's the truth, most people don't want to face. Sometimes God doesn't give you what you prayed for, because He's protecting you from what you can't see. You called it rejection. He called it redirection. You saw an ending. He saw a new beginning. That's why the pain had to happen. That's why that relationship had to end. That's why that opportunity disappeared. Because if you had walked through that door, you would have missed the one He's truly prepared for you. Sometimes we don't realize how powerful God's no really is until we see what His yes leads to. And maybe right now, you're in the middle of confusion. Things don't make sense. You're doing everything right, but life still feels wrong. You're walking by faith, but the road looks empty, and God is silent. But silence is not absence. His silence is sacred. It's where faith grows the most. When you can't feel Him, that's when He's closest. When you can't see Him, that's when He's carrying you. Do you remember the story of Joseph? He was thrown into a pit by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and forgotten in prison. But every delay in his life was divine direction. Because when the time came, the same Joseph who was rejected became ruler over Egypt. That's what God does. He takes the lowest valleys and turns them into platforms of glory. He takes what the enemy meant for harm and transforms it for your good. And if you're listening to this right now, God is saying, I'm turning it around. You just don't see it yet. He's working in the silence. He's working in the waiting. He's working in ways that are too complex to explain right now. But soon, very soon, you'll understand why everything had to happen the way it did. There's a version of you on the other side of this pain that you can't even imagine yet. A stronger, wiser, freer version. And the person you are right now, the one who doubts, fears, and questions, is exactly who God is molding into someone unstoppable. That's why this season feels heavy. Because you're in transformation. You're not losing your way. You're shedding your old self. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. The waiting season is never wasted. Now look around your life for a moment. Think of the small things. The sunrise that greeted you this morning. The person who unexpectedly checked in on you. The moment of peace that came out of nowhere. Those are not random. Those are whispers. God's way of saying, I'm still here. He's been giving you signs, but they were small enough to test your awareness. Because faith isn't about seeing big miracles. It's about recognizing the small ones. That's how you build spiritual sight. And when you start noticing, you realize God has been speaking all along. Through songs, through conversations, through moments that seem ordinary but hold deep meaning. This video is one of those moments. This is your confirmation. You've been praying for a sign to keep going. This is it. Don't stop now. Don't walk away just because it's hard. You're closer than you think. The battle you're facing right now is not a sign of failure. It's a sign that breakthrough is near. Because the enemy attacks hardest when heaven is closest. And maybe you've been seeing repeating numbers, hearing the same phrase everywhere, feeling drawn to certain verses. Those are not coincidences. Those are echoes of God's voice, reminding you that you're not walking this journey alone. When you wake up and push through the day, when you smile even though you're tired, when you forgive even when they don't deserve it, that's faith in action. That's the light of God shining through you. You may not realize it, but someone out there is watching how you handle your struggle. Someone is inspired by your endurance. And one day they'll say, I didn't give up because you didn't. That's how powerful your story is. You are becoming the sign someone else has been praying for. That's how God works. He doesn't just bless you for your sake. He blesses you to be a blessing. You go through the storm so you can help someone else find the way out. So hold on. You're not waiting in vain. You're waiting in faith. And that kind of waiting never goes unrewarded. Because what's coming is greater than what you lost. The peace that's coming will silence every storm. The joy that's coming will erase years of pain. The doors that are opening will remind you that God never forgot. And when that moment comes, you'll remember this video. You'll remember this message. You'll look back and say, that was the day I decided not to quit. Because breakthrough doesn't always start with a miracle. Sometimes it starts with a decision. The decision to trust God one more time. So decide right now. Decide to believe again. Decide to hope again. Decide to walk by faith again. Even if it's small, even if it's trembling, take that step. Because faith moves heaven. Faith opens doors that logic can't. Faith whispers to God, I don't understand it, but I trust you anyway. And when heaven hears those words, something begins to shift. Chains begin to break. Paths begin to open. Miracles begin to unfold. That's what's happening for you right now, behind the scenes. In the unseen, in the silence, so keep going. Don't lose heart. Because this message wasn't meant to entertain you. It was meant to awaken you. God sent it to remind you that your story isn't over. He's still writing it. And every chapter that looked like pain is leading to one that will look like purpose. This is your sign. Not tomorrow, not someday now. This is the divine moment where God says, stop doubting, start believing, stop worrying, start trusting, stop waiting for permission, start walking in purpose. Because everything you need is already inside you. The faith, the wisdom, the strength. It's all been planted there, and now it's time for it to bloom. So, as you leave this video, carry this truth in your heart. You are chosen. You are protected. You are guided. You are loved. And the God who started this journey with you will be the same God who finishes it with glory. If you're still listening right now, it means your spirit knows this is truth. So comment below, I trust you, God. Let those words be your declaration, because your faith is not small, it's powerful. It's moving mountains right now. And when the blessing arrives, when the door opens, when the peace comes, when the miracle finally happens, remember this moment, because it all began with a sign. God says, this is the sign you've been waiting for. Go, believe, and walk in faith. Your breakthrough is coming. Your purpose is calling. Your time is now.